everyone, and welcome to day 4 of our 12 days of Christmas Files Vlogmas edition. And I am super excited that we are partnering again with this series with Jill from the Scrapaholic. And just as a disclosure, she has provided all of the files free of charge for me to use to show you these files. The only items that I am using from her are the files. Everything else I have either owned or purchased on my own to complete these projects. So today we are doing Santa is Coming to Town in X Days project. This is what it will look like when it's done. It's super cute. It's super awesome. I know that you will love it. Your kids will love it. You know what? I'm going to quit rambling. Let's get started. Okay, so as always, I had several to choose from, and I chose Santa Claus number 2 because I really liked the font. The font is what drew me to this particular one. So I have already spent some time in Design Space kind of adjusting the size because I'm going to show you what we're going to put it on. We are just putting it on a simple picture frame. It's just a regular picture frame that would hold a 5x7 piece of paper. 5x7. What am I thinking? This is an 8.5x11. Silly Lena. So I purchased this at our local thrift store and I got it on sale for 89 cents. So nothing expensive, just a really nice frame. I liked the white wooden frame for it, so that's why I picked it. So we're going to switch over to view and then we're going to start getting everything loaded and ready to cut. I'm ready for Santa to come to town. Are you? Okay, here is the one I picked. This was number 2 of the options that I had. Part of this that I'm not using that I will scroll over here and show you are some numbers. You are more than welcome to cut them and use them. However, since I will be using a photo frame, these actually you are able to use dry erase markers on and put the letters inside or numbers inside instead of having to do other types of lettering. I will just use a dry erase marker. One of the other things that I'm going to be cutting but it's not showing yet because I'm doing this in stages is the Santa, and I will unhide him so you can see what he looks like. So this is where you will write your numbers in, and we will be cutting that separate. I want to get the lettering on first before we cut Santa's, just so I know how big to make him. Okay, let's get this in design. Let's get this saved so I can pull it up on my tablet, and we are going to keep rocking and rolling. Okay, so we've got our tablet all set up. Let's go to categories, projects in the cloud as always. And Santa Claus is Coming to Town. And since I already have it set pretty well where I want it, I'm going to go ahead and come down here and make it. And while that's loading, I'm going to grab a Cricut mat. So now that we have our file uploaded and ready to cut, the next thing I need to do is I need to pick the type of vinyl colors I will be using. So I think for my lettering, I'm going to use this color, and I'm trying to figure out, yep, it's regular gold. I have a regular gold and I have a rose gold, and in the lighting, this one looks kind of like rose gold. So I grabbed a brand new roll of gold just to confirm, but it's the same color. So for the lettering, I am going to be using gold, and I'm going to cut 6 inches worth because if you look at the screen, it almost goes down to 5, but I want to give a little bit extra just in case. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I have my Cricut paper vinyl cutter sitting here, and I have the ruler part extended so that I can measure out my vinyl and then cut it the amount I need, and then I can put the rest away. These paper cutters with the fold out rulers are so handy because then there is no reason why I have to have multiple tools. Okay, so my 6 inches is about here. Alright, so I'm going to slide it under, move it down, and voila, I'm cut. After you cut your vinyl, you just simply adhere it to your mat. Now, if you're buying vinyl in large rolls, something that you will find is that it curls very easily as you put it on your mat. So I always start with my top corners and kind of just smooth it down. And then I also use one of my squeegee tools and just simply smooth the vinyl down. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start cutting. So I am cutting this on Custom Settings glitter vinyl. Okay, ignore the things that I said earlier about how much I needed because I forgot to look at the actual mat instead of what I was doing over here. So, let's go back. And this shows that I only needed roughly about 3 inches worth of vinyl. As you can see, here is my vinyl. So what I'm going to do real quickly is I'm going to weed this and we'll be right back. Okay, so while I was away, I found a piece of paper and I put it inside of the frame so that I would have a background. And I also got out my mini bottle of Windex and a glass cleaning cloth, and I'm going to quickly wipe off the glass so that it's clean for adhering our vinyl. So you may be wondering, Lena, why did you clean the glass before you put your vinyl on it? Well, number one, I got it at a thrift store, so I wanted to make sure that it was clean. And two, if you have dirt and grime and things on glass before you adhere your vinyl, it's not going to adhere well, and it's going to end up coming off, which is not what we want to do, because this is also a Christmas gift. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to cut apart the words Santa is coming to town in, and I'm going to lay it out on the frame before I adhere it. Alright, let's get going. So here we've got our frame. It's all clean. Okay, so the phrase is Santa is coming to town in. So let's get it cut apart, because as you can see, it's not all together. Okay, so this is one of the reasons why I cut the wording first and the Santa second, because this frame ended up being a little smaller than 8.5 by 11. I did have to trim down the paper to go in the back, and so cutting the lettering out first gives me an idea of how big of a Santa I can cut for this space over here. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the wording off and adhere it to the frame. Okay, here is step 1, 2, 3, whatever we're at, done. Santa is coming to town in blank days. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to cut out the Santa. Now I've already measured my blank space and I have roughly 4 by 4 inches. So that is the size of the outline of Santa that I'm going to do first, and then we will finish it up. Let's keep going. Once again, I will be cutting this on the custom setting for glitter vinyl. So I have my Santa all cut and weeded, and I'm going to get some transfer paper and I'm going to transfer him right here. I think he's going to look good. Let's do it. Here's my transfer paper. It comes with all rolls of Cricut vinyl. This is the strong grip. It comes with the glitter specifically. And I'm just going to cut a piece that's going to match my Santa, and we're going to put him on. So I have my glitter vinyl adhered to my contact paper, or transfer paper. Now, something that you can use if you run out of Cricut transfer paper, or you don't want to pay the extra for it, is you can use contact paper. It does act a little differently, so beware. Also, when you're using the strong grip, make sure that you rub really hard so it will transfer, and then you're going to have to be very careful peeling it off. So this is the stage that we're at now. Santa is coming to town in blank days. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to cut the pieces for his hat, his beard, and, well, I guess this is all part of his hat. So we're going to go back to the Cricut and keep on cutting. So here is the Santa that we have. And what we're going to do is we're going to unhide the other pieces of him for his hat. So there we've added in, I don't know if you can tell really well. Let me go up here and pick, there we go. I'm just going to take the white and I'm going to give them a different color so that you guys can see, because it's kind of hard to see when the white one's in, right guys? Alright, so I'm just making all of the white pieces the same blue because I want them to all cut the same color. Right now it looks like Papa Smurf. Okay, anyway, so I'm going to cut the hat, excuse me, hat in red, and I'm going to cut the rest of that's blue in white. So I'm going to save this and come back to my tablet. Once again, I will be cutting on the custom setting for glitter vinyl. that I needed. So now I'm going to weed them and we'll be right back. So we've got the last of our pieces cut and weeded. Here is the red portion of Santa's hat. And here are all of the silver pieces. We have his beard, the trim, and the little bauble. Let's get finished putting Santa's together. There he is, our very own Santa. Is it not? I wasn't sure how I'd like it with it all filled in, but I think it just totally makes the piece. Otherwise, it just looked way too plain. That's it. That is our Santa is Coming to Town in X Days project. One of the things I love about this particular project is that there's no one correct way to make it size-wise. This one will fit perfectly on a mantle, on a coffee table, in a child's room. It's just a regular picture frame. However, if you wanted something bigger, you could always make it such. If you want something smaller and you just want to use the Santa head, that's cool too. I'd love to see what you made. If you use this file, please tag me on Instagram with hashtag Vlogmas2019. I'd love to see it. Now, something to keep in mind is, if you decide that you want to make this and you want the Santa inside where the numbers are going to be bigger, I suggest starting with the Santa and then doing your letters so you have a little bit more of an idea of what size you want your lettering to be. You know what? That's it for me today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it so much. Again, all the links for the files from Jill are down in the description below, so make sure to check her out. Thank you again so much for watching, and we'll see you in the theme park.